What's up everybody, welcome back to the Tier 1 Concealed channel. My name is Miles, and today we're doing a Monday Gunday on the Springfield Hellcat in 380. I know what you're gonna say, we're finally doing more small guns, and that's because you guys don't like that we only carry full-size guns. So we're making a conscious effort to take a look at a lot of these smaller guns lately. This is the first one we're looking at in 380, which is not a caliber I actually have any experience with personally. So this one's gonna be a little interesting for me. Before we head to the range, we're gonna note some things about this gun. It does have a 3-inch barrel, which we're basically getting into snub nose territory with some of these subcompacts. This one is Optic cut for the Shield RMSC pattern, if I remember right. And it came with this, I don't know, it's from Shield. I don't know what model this sight is, but it has a clear top, and based on the literature it came with, it does a couple things. To them, it gives you a better sight picture. I personally don't agree with that right off the bat, but what I could see it being helpful with, another thing that was in their literature was that the clear top lets the auto adjust function more accurately, and if that is the case, and as long as this doesn't break, that's actually pretty cool. Because I have had some dots that I've had set to auto that have not functioned very reliably. And if that solves this problem, kind of cool. As far as holster goes, we do not have a holster for it yet. In particular, the mags are tiny. It did come with 2 magazines. This is a 13 round and this is an 11 round. But even the 11 round does add this space for your pinky, which is great news because without it, your pinky doesn't have room, and I don't have gigantic hands like Aaron does. So I personally am very thankful that they added that. Most subcompacts do that. Without the extra length added to the mag for the pinky, this would ergonomically be much worse for me. So it actually, before shooting it, doesn't feel too bad ergonomically. MSRP on these is 600-ish, so you could probably find it for quite a bit less than that at a store, I imagine. MSRP is never the actual price. On that note, we're gonna head to the range and shoot this thing so we can give a little better review on it. We are at the range now. We have this little 380 Hellcat loaded up. We've got our IPSC target down there. As you guys, I'm sure, are all aware of, we're gonna do bill drill, 3 reload 3, 3 reload 3, and then 10 shots on a B8, which we don't have a real B8, we have like a fake B8, but really we're just looking for accuracy is all. 10 shots, no time limit, see how the gun does. We are going to do the bill drills first. We don't have a holster, so we're working off the table as if this was my holster. So just bear with us on that. As with every time we do this, these are guns we are unfamiliar with, so we're not actually going for time. We're really just looking for how the gun feels and everything, and these are drills that we do typically, so they will give us a good baseline for how things feel compared to other guns we shoot. All right, this actually feels really good, which is not a surprise. It's 380. It's a soft shooting round. It's a tiny 9mm basically. I will say surprise for how small the gun is. Small guns are usually very snappy. We shoot a lot of subcompact 9mm in videos, which none of us enjoy shooting because they don't feel good to shoot. But that was a pretty good grouping in a very soft shooting platform. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why do I only see 5 rounds though? Did I only shoot 5? Oh, that's 2. Is that 2? 1, 2, 3, 4. That looks like 2 to me. Yeah. 5, 6. For that small of a gun, having not shot it at all aside from zeroing it, that's not a bad group. Let's see what time it was. It was probably pretty slow, but a 3:29. So yeah, not crazy fast, but that's not what we're going for. We're just getting a feel for things.
Just let the record state, it does say 6 shots on there.
Oh, yeah. All right, we'll load it back up and do another bill drill. I will say, too, working from the table, I would put money on it. I'm slower from the table than from a holster because I'm being more conscious of how I'm grabbing the gun because the trigger is totally exposed when I'm going for it.
Fast.
All right, I tried to speed it up on that one. I will say it's not locking back. Who knows, that could be me, I don't know. I tried to speed it up at 294. I also had a significantly slower picking up of the gun, but because I tried to speed it up, I did throw 3 shots left. Dink, dink, dink. But that is reflective of my shooting, not of the gun's performance, because I was pushing it a little bit to make up for that slow draw. So this is the 3 reload 3 setup. I'm just gonna shoot and grab it off the table and reload. Really, with this one, we're, aside from overall feel of the gun, we're looking at magwell, or in most factory cases, lack thereof. Shooter ready, stand by. Yes, I'm ready. Oh. Yeah. Okay. Still not locking back. Not really much of a magwell, and tiny kind of threw me off when I was trying to reload. Tiny. That was a 627. I missed my reload and then brought it back in. I'm trending left, so after the reload, I consciously slowed down to bring it back to the right. So I'm just gonna, since I'm trending left, I'm gonna aim to the right line of the A zone on this next one. It could be because the gun's so small, my inputs maybe are a little more dramatic. Barrel length is, I don't know, I have to look it up. It's like 2 inches or something, I don't know. Anyways, point being, I'm trying to keep it in the A zone this time.
Much better on that one.
Still not locking back. That was a 627. And we did successfully keep it all in the A zone. So if this was my gun that I was like planning on carrying, I obviously would go back and re-zero and adjust, and I'd probably see that I needed to bring things to the right a little bit. But it's not the gun I'm carrying because I carry a full-size gun, so we're just gonna keep shooting it as it is. We're gonna throw a B8 up and go for accuracy. So we forgot our actual B8 targets, and they had this one here at the range. So we're gonna go ahead and call this fake B8, close enough. We're just looking at grouping. It doesn't really matter. Stop yelling at me. We're shooting this target. No time limit, just going for accuracy. Wish me luck. All right, 10 rounds. Didn't lock back. Come on, Springfield, get your mag and lock back together. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and say, holy shite, that group's good. That's 10 rounds. So, damn. Yeah, that gun be accurate. That actually might be my best grouping ever in a Monday Gunday. That's impressive. That's impressive. We never pushed it back to 10 yards. All right, listen. I forgot to move the target back to 10 yards. So we put a new one up, and that's at 10 yards. But we're not gonna discard this 7-yard group, because for that little gun, this for any gun, this is a great group at 7 yards. So never forget this group. RIP this group. Now we're going to 10. It's not gonna be as good. 10 yards, no time limit, just for accuracy. All right, that was 10. Still yet to get the slide to lock back. Let's go see how it did. Definitely not a, holy, okay. I mean, it's not a bad group. That would all be probably in the 9-10 ring. Listen, apparently the difference between 7 and 10 yards is huge. But for that small of a gun, that's actually probably a better group than I was originally expecting. So there you have it. Do with that what you want. We'll see you back in the armory. All right, we are back from the range. Definitely a different day than before. And I actually was pretty impressed with this gun. I'm not a big subcompact guy. I typically shoot a full-size gun. I've never shot 380, but all in all, I actually feel like this gun shot pretty good and felt pretty good ergonomically in my hands for it being so small. I'm going to dive right into our scoring here, and first on the list is cost. I gave this one a 6.7. Its MSRP is in the 600s. Competitors like the Glock 42, the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, those are in the 400s, like low 400s. So it is a couple $100 more than competing brands in the same category. For that reason, I had to knock it down a little bit for the cost. That being said, the Bodyguard and the 42 are not Optic cut from the factory. So I do give it a lot of credit, and there is a lot of value in that for me if you were to send something out to get Optic cut, if it even could. Something like the Bodyguard is so small, I'm not even positive anyone's doing an Optic cut for it. But you'd end up paying shipping each way, $90, $100 for the Optic cut, Cerakote, whatever. Maybe depending on your needs, it makes up the value in that. For me, it would. So that's why I didn't knock it down even further. But I think a 6.7 is kind of a good middle ground of it is expensive, but it comes Optic cut. Next up is going to be the trigger. It's I gave it a 6.5. It's nothing special. It's a little heavy for my taste. It's a little long on the travel for my taste. But I am fully aware that guns designed specifically for carry tend to have heavier, longer pull triggers because some people that are not confident in their abilities or maybe their decision making are afraid of pulling the trigger on accident. I've even seen stuff like kits that make your trigger heavier for people that are extra nervous about that. I'm not that guy. I like a lighter trigger. I like a smooth, crisp break. This was just regular for me, so it gets a 6.5. Next up is bore axis, and for that, I'm gonna give it a 7.5. It's it's basically same with everything else. The Bodyguard maybe has a lower bore axis than it, but that comes with its own issues in that particular platform. This is about standard, so it gets a 7.5. For sights, I gave this an 8.5 because it does come Optic cut. It is a popular pattern. The RMSC is a footprint that's offered in tons of different optics from tons of different manufacturers. And it does come with iron sights. As these are like the typical Springfield iron sights, it's a U-notch in the back, and it's got tritium and a little fluorescent paint on the front sight. It is a decent front sight. I like the co-witness height because it's not too high. I like a really low co-witness with my red dots. Granted, this gun is not a precision gun. It's really short barrel, but there's a lot of play, or there's a lot of dead space between the blade of the front sight and the sides of the rear sight, and I like that to be a little tighter. So I knocked it down a little bit for that. But being red dot ready from the factory is a huge plus for me. For aftermarket support, I know this is a brand new gun and this one might shock you guys, but I gave it an 8.6 because through Googling, I could be wrong because it's an idiot using Google, but through Googling, it seems like a lot of the parts that are compatible with the 9mm Hellcat are compatible with the 380 Hellcat. And so that makes a lot of the trigger upgrades and all that kind of stuff that these companies are offering on the table for this 380, which means right off the bat, aftermarket support is pretty good. For round capacity, I gave it an 8. It's 11 in the short mag, 13 in the tall mag. Size-wise, 380 is 9mm, it's just stubbier. So 11 and 13 in this size of a gun for the same size, same diameter as a 9mm, I think personally is pretty dang good. Serviceability, I gave an 8.5. It's just like pretty much any other striker-fired gun. With about 5 minutes on YouTube, you can figure out how to take everything apart on this gun and service it, replace parts, do all that stuff yourself. Value, I gave a 7.8. As we talked about earlier, it is quite a bit more expensive than its competitors, but it does come Optic cut. For me, that adds a ton back in value that you lose on the cost score. I am willing to pay money to have a red dot compatible gun because I am a red dot guy. So that is a big deal for me, and I think that adds a ton of value. For cool factor, I gave it a 6. I'm sorry if you're a big subcompact, maybe even borderline micro compact guy. I'm not, and so a 6 is actually a pretty generous score just because I don't think any of those guns are that cool, aside from maybe being so small it's a novelty. But considering the size, this gun actually shot really well and felt really good for what it is. That doesn't make it way cooler. It's still a 380. It's still a tiny gun. Both of those things knock it down for me. But in its category, I think it's actually a pretty sweet gun. That brings the overall score to 75.1, which puts it comfortably in second place, only behind the Hellcat comp, if I remember right. So you guys can knock Springfield all you want. I think they've actually been putting out a ton of really nice guns in the past several years. And they are, like in the subcompact market, the Hellcat comp and this are two of the best subcompacts I've personally shot, and it took zero modification to get them there. So maybe we'll add some highly modified subcompacts to these videos. We have some 43s, 43Xs that are pretty built out, that we've used pretty much just for photos, that we are trying to make a conscious effort to shoot more because you guys want us to shoot smaller guns. So let us know if you want to see those videos on a Monday Gunday. Let us know what other kind of guns you want us to see. Drop them in the comments. If we have access to it, if we can get access to it, we'll probably do a Monday Gunday on it. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about Timberman Concealed. Carry every day, and we'll see you on the next one.